Welcome to A Career That Matters, a podcast brought to you by DC Hopefuls, and I'm your host, Tommy Peavyhouse. Look, I started DC Hopefuls, and I started doing this podcast for a simple reason. I believe that you are meant to have a career of impact. Now, I don't know what that impact is. It could be in a number of areas. It could be Washington, D.C., it could be abroad, it could be in your local community. You could be in public policy, advocacy, a million different things you could do to have that impact that you were born to make. But you're probably tuning into DC Hopefuls because it's not going the way you wanted. You're stuck writing cover letters, going to awkward networking events, you're just feeling stuck professionally and you don't know how to get unstuck. That was my life for several years, and I swore to myself that if I ever figured out the right way, if I ever learned how it all really works, I would shout it from the mountaintops and share it with everyone. And that's why in 2016, I launched DC Hopefuls to help you avoid all the silly, needless mistakes that I made. So hopefully today's episode can help you through whatever situation you're facing, and it can get you going in the right direction to have that impact that the world needs you to have when you go to work every day. Can introverts be great networkers? The answer is a resounding yes. And in fact, I actually think introverts have an advantage when it comes to networking the right way. Look, I get this question all the time. I've had hundreds of conversations that went something along the lines of, Tommy, I want to change the world with my career. I want to work in public policy, government, Capitol Hill, national security, environmental things, cool, big time stuff. And they'll say, I'm smart, I'm ambitious, I work hard, but I'm really shy. I'm introverted. I don't like networking because I feel like I'm bothering people, whatever it might be. And unfortunately, they use that reason as a way to think, well, networking probably won't work for me. Like, all of you understand that networking works and is really important in this type of fields, but you think because of who you are, it won't work for you. And therefore, all these amazing, incredible people find themselves applying to hundreds and hundreds of jobs, writing cover letters all day, and getting terrible results, and then they don't know what to do. So I'm here to tell you that the introverted, shy, potentially a little awkward person out there who's watching this, you can be an amazing networker. Because those words describe me, and I feel like I've become a really good networker, but more importantly, I've helped several dozen people who were pretty introverted become really great networkers. And here's a few reasons why. Number one, I'm going to talk about our extroverted friends first and why we have an advantage over them. Our extroverted friends are more likely, because they love people, they love that excitement, they're more likely to be drawn to things that don't work, like networking events, big, loud, crowded things. And they'll go and they'll make the small talk and they enjoy themselves. But that's really hard to take a brand new relationship where neither one of you have very many people in common, if any, and to turn that into a relationship where that person's going to help you. Because either the other person's an introvert and they're going to find that interaction a little challenging and difficult, or they're an extrovert too. And what happens is sometimes when extroverts get together, it's so easy and fun and wonderful. We're all jealous of that, but the follow-up often isn't there. A lot of my extroverted folks I help in my career investors group struggle with that follow-up. They struggle with the organization because it's easy to them. They love it. They enjoy it. So they're not nervous, and it's more difficult for them to slow down and be organized and strategic and actually take the time to be a little bit more quiet and listen and let that person kind of give advice and guide, which is the key to networking. So why introverts do so well is because real networking that's going to get you real results is talking to people you already know. It's getting that person you've known for years, that person you've worked with, that person you haven't talked to in a while, but you had a good relationship in the past, getting them invested in what you're trying to do next. You might want to work on Capitol Hill, and they sell real estate in Ohio. Doesn't necessarily matter. If you can get them invested in caring, eventually they can start being creative and think of all the people they know. And maybe they have a really great family friend who's very involved in local politics. And next thing you know, you're sitting down with her, and she has 1,000,001 relationships in Washington, D.C., and you're off to the races in this hypothetical situation I made up, right? The point is real networking is about people you know, and the introverts out there usually feel much more comfortable with that. They're more drawn to that because it feels far less intimidating and awkward. Where the extroverts often will hear that and think, oh, no, I'm going to skip all that nonsense. I'll just go find the person who's in my field, because I'm not nervous or scared to make that reach out, to go to that event, to send out that random LinkedIn message, to do that, but it doesn't really work very well. So our introverts are more likely to start at the place they need to start. Our introverted friends are more likely to listen, not talk as much, come more prepared because they're nervous. So they might come with better questions. They'll take better notes, and they do a much better job of following up because this always is a little nerve-wracking. It makes them a little nervous, and therefore they stay a little bit more focused. They come more prepared. So does that mean it's always going to be fun networking as an introvert? Yes and no. No, because you'll always be a little nervous, unless it's someone you've known really, really well. And now this is your 5th or 6th conversation about professional stuff. Yeah, those will get easier. But eventually you are going to meet new people. Now, the good news is you're only going to meet new people through the people you know. So they won't be strangers. There'll be that automatic trust and build up and buy-in for both sides. But you'll still be nervous. And all I can say is, being nervous is your body's way of telling you that this matters. It's almost like a sign of respect to what you're about to go do. I don't get nervous to take out the trash, but I do get nervous to go have a difficult conversation with my boss, right? Like, it's a sign of respect for him because I care about what he might say and I know this topic might be difficult. In the same way, I still get a little bit nervous when I'm going to have that phone call with someone about networking and this is the first time we're connecting, or I'm going to go have coffee and we've talked twice on the phone, but it's the first time we're going to see each other face to face. After all these years, I still get a little bit nervous, and I tell myself that's okay. That's my subconscious telling me, hey, this is important, and it makes me get a little bit more prepared, be a little more thoughtful, and that will ease my nerves a little bit, and then I get also better results. Look, you want an amazing career, you didn't expect it to be easy. I can't promise you still won't. This won't be a little intimidating if you're introverted, but I'm telling you, you can be really great at it because I don't need you going around doing elevator pitches to people and talking to total strangers. I actually just want you to ask a lot of questions and do a ton of listening and some really good follow-up, which I said is going to be a little bit easier for those introverted folks. And the good news is you will get better at it. It's a skill. Right? The more you do it, the better you'll get. And of course, when you get better at things, you get less nervous about them. You get less self-conscious. You have that one awkward conversation and you check yourself and you realize you're alive and it really wasn't that big of a deal. And so you get a little bit less nervous that might happen again because it's already happened. So like anything, you'll get better at it and it will become less intimidating over time. You'll still always be a little bit nervous. It will never be a 0, but instead of being a 99 out of 100, we can get it down to like a 10, right? And that's more than doable. And when you feel and see those results, you'll realize how worth it really is. Also, it can be very good for your mental health. If you're a little bit more introverted, you're more likely to shut folks out. And as you struggle, like I used to, and you fail on these applications and you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed, rather than sharing with lots of people and getting it off your chest, you can bury it with it. I developed debilitating anxiety. Got to the point where it's affecting all aspects of my life, my social life, everything, because I was being so defeated trying to get my career where I wanted it to go, and I wasn't willing to open up about it. And I was always a little bit jealous of some of my more extroverted friends who were going through similar struggles, but they talked about it, and it didn't seem so bad because they were so willing to talk about it. So, these introverted folks, I'm excited because you won't feel that way anymore because you'll get really good results through networking. But networking in itself is a way to kind of go out and discuss and have conversations with people about your professional struggles. We're not going to put on a fake face here. We're not going to pitch ourselves. We're going to be very honest about our situation, what's going on. People are going to appreciate that honesty and transparency. And it will be good for your mental health to have those conversations with folks you know and meet some new people. And it just feels good to get out there and talk to people, even if it's just on the phone. There's something very human about connecting with other humans. Verbally, a minimum on the phone. I always prefer if it can be in person, but it doesn't have to be. So by all means, look, if you live in the middle of the country and you want to work in DC, you can still do this. Phones work great. If you live in the middle of the country and that's where you want to stay, that's awesome. This will still help you too. And you can do more face-to-face networking. Then of course, for a lot of you who are in DC, the DC area, try to do it in person if you can. It's always better. So yes, networking will feel intimidating if you are introverted, but but you can actually become really great at it, because the key to networking is not what you say in the conversation, really. It's how that other person feels. If they walk away from that coffee table and they're like, God, I got to tell her 3 stories. I really feel good about myself. Like, I feel valued. Like, that's all that matters, is the feeling they walk away with. And then you hit them with this really thoughtful follow-up email that afternoon, kind of highlighting the things you talked about and like asking when it's okay to follow up. And then you follow up again. And whenever they're hearing from you, it's about the advice they gave. So they're feeling good and they feel like it's very easy to help you because you always follow up and you stay on top of them and you're organized. That's what networking's all about. My introverted friends out there, I know you can do it. That's your wheelhouse. That's what you're good at. Now, you might need some encouragement and some proof to get you over that hump, to be willing to have that conversation and follow up that way. That is a huge part of Career Investors. If you're not familiar with Career Investors, there's probably a link below in this video. That's my private group, $40 a month. You get coaching calls with me one-on-one. You get access to all my modules that walk you through my entire networking process. And one of the big aspects of it is giving you that courage to do the things that make you nervous. Because I have laid out and shown you how it works and how it's worked for so many people. And people have told me they feel a little bit more encouraged to do it, because even if they get ignored or the phone call goes short and it doesn't go great, they know that that's part of the game. And then not every interaction is going to go perfect. The point is that enough of them will go really well, that you'll have more, and other people will get involved. People will really start wanting to help you. So you can do it. If you want these step-by-step instructions and you want coaching from me and you want the support of a community, then I would really encourage you to click the link below, watch an 8-minute or so video about Career Investors. But if not, I hope though, if you're that introverted person, I hope I've given you a little bit more encouragement to realize that the things that make you introverted are actually a huge advantage a lot of the times when it comes to networking. Awesome. Thank you all for watching this video.